Hey everyone! In today's video, I'm going to cover off some of my favorite habits that I've been trying to incorporate into my life to increase productivity. Now, this isn't a video on hustle culture and working super long hours to get things done. Instead, these tips help me do the most amount of work in the least amount of time, giving me energy to spend on other areas of my life. The other day, I realized that we have 24 hours in a day, of which 8 of them are spent sleeping, another 8 are spent working, maybe another 4 hours spent commuting, cooking, cleaning, doing life admin, going to the bathroom, which leaves us with only 4 hours left to actually spend on things that we enjoy, as well as hang out with our family and friends. So how do we make the most of our time and be as productive as we can? Now, the first thing that I would recommend is to figure out what you really want to achieve. What is your end goal? Don't just want to do it because everyone else is doing so. Or maybe it's the start of the new year and you're watching Ali Abdul's video for the 3rd time. We've all been there, done that. All these productivity tips and tricks that you're watching on YouTube won't stick if you don't have a North Star or one defined goal. The next tip, and probably a lot of people's biggest downfall, is that we spend way too much time planning and not enough time executing. I've seen so many videos on creating the perfect vision board, Pinterest boards, goal setting, but not enough on how to actually execute on our goals. Remember that yes, it is important to visualize a goal, but it's not actually making any progress. Planning does not equal actions. The longer we procrastinate a task, the less momentum we have and the harder it becomes to start. Now, there is this thing called the 5-minute rule, where you basically force yourself to work on a task for only 5 minutes. Now, of course, this doesn't sound like a very long time, right? But it overcomes a major hurdle of getting started. The secret recipe to success isn't a dramatic overnight change, but more so a combination of consistent, small daily choices and actions. My next tip is to spend 5 minutes at the start of every workday listing out everything that you want to accomplish. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you will know that I love doing this on pen and paper, as I find that writing out my to-do list keeps me very focused. But whatever system works for you, whether that's sticky notes or on Trello, feel free to implement that. And let's face it, we don't always finish everything that we want to accomplish. Sometimes tricky stakeholders are around, and other days life just gets in the way. So instead, I would identify the one thing that you want to accomplish and just focus on getting that done. My next tip is to reduce as many interruptions as possible. I recently disabled a lot of notifications on my phone from apps like Instagram and TikTok, as well as unsubscribed to many irrelevant emails. Remember that social media's main purpose is to hook your attention and keep you coming back. Another thing that I'm trying to implement in both my work and personal life is saying no to things which are irrelevant to my goals. Whether that's to work calendar invites or social catch-ups, my knee-jerk response is to say yes, resulting in myself overcommitting to things, eventually feeling overwhelmed and then flaking, which is not good. So my advice to you is, always respond with either "I'm busy" or "let me check my calendar and get back to you." So you give yourself time to evaluate if this task or this thing is really relevant to your goals. The next tip that I want to cover off is something called the 80-20 rule, often known as the Pareto Principle, which basically says that 20% of your actions are resulting in 80% of your outcomes. So for everything that you are doing, stop and ask yourself how important it really is. Is it part of the 20%? Is it going to bring you closer to your goals? Or should you be working on something else more high value instead? The next habit that I've been trying to work on is setting deadlines. So Parkinson's law says that work expands itself to fill the time that we allocate to it. Meaning that if I give myself a whole day to work on a YouTube video, it'll take me a whole day. But if I only time block 3 hours in the morning and then do plan out other things in my day later on, there is a very high chance I'll be able to finish my video in the first 3 hours. So next time, try to implement an artificial deadline and you'll find yourself surprisingly more productive. Another habit that I've tried to implement over the last couple of years is to never let the desire for perfection get in the way of something good. I've learned over time that perfection is the enemy of success, and it is also the reason why many people drop off from their New Year's resolutions because they set some really ambitious goals, for example, run every single day for a year. But once they miss one day, it's not perfect anymore, so they give up. So please don't let perfection get in the way, otherwise it may be really difficult to create something sustainable. And lastly, as we navigate a world of uncertainty and COVID, and our bedroom becomes our office, the boundaries between work and life have really become blurred. Please focus on your mental health and take breaks when required. Storming through 10 hours of work in one sitting is definitely not healthy, as your body needs rest to function properly, as does your brain. So those are some of my favorite habits to build into my personal and professional life to increase productivity. If this video helped you out in some way, then please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. As always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!